Hey, today I'm going to talk about 3 war movies. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but the names of those 3 movies are The Dirty Dozen, Zero Dark 30, and The Thin Red Line. First up is The Dirty Dozen. This is a 1967 war movie starring Lee Marvin. He's the whole reason I wanted to watch it. I loved his performance so much in Prime Cut. I wanted to see some of his other things. This is now my 3rd movie of his. He doesn't really give a particularly incredible performance. It's fine. But the movie overall is pretty good. The basic premise is the Suicide Squad. It's the Suicide Squad movie concept is, straight ripped from this movie / book. So a group of soldiers who are on death row or life sentences are given an opportunity to go on a suicide mission to potentially expunge their sentences. Led by Lee Marvin. About 80% of the movie is them just training and bonding, with the last bit of the movie them actually doing the suicide mission. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It had a lot of solid action. Apparently it was very violent for the time. I didn't really see the violence. What really impressed / surprised me were the Dirty Dozen themselves. In particular, the kind of leader of the Dirty Dozen. It's a black man. I was not expecting that. Like, when I first saw the lineup of the dozen, I was like, oh, one token black guy. Okay, he's not gonna get any attention, whatever, it's fine. At least there's a person of color on there. But he got the most attention out of all of the dozen, and he was definitely an authority figure once stuff started happening. Like, people listened to him. I really was not expecting that from a movie from the 60s. The movie did get a little goofy for me at times, and I was a little annoyed with that because it kind of is more serious. But the goofy stuff was still kind of nice. The movie was definitely too long. I still enjoyed it though. I still put it pretty dang high. If you like classic war movies, it's definitely worth checking out. I'd say you don't really need to go out of your way to watch this one, but if you happen to come across it, you're not gonna waste your time. Next up is Zero Dark 30. This is a 2012 movie starring Jessica Chastain. The basic premise is, it is how we found Osama bin Laden and killed him. I knew that was the premise of the movie, but what I didn't realize going in was that the first, let's say half an hour, I don't remember how actually long it was, of the movie is just straight torture porn. All I could do that entire time was just scream at my TV being like, it's literally proven that torture doesn't work. Statistically, either the person being tortured is stubborn and just doesn't break at all, or the opposite. They break and just say yes to everything, giving lots of false information. They just say things you think you want to hear in order to get the pain to stop. And actually, there was this guy in charge of a POW camp who would befriend prisoners and treat them really nice, give them really nice food, go on long walks with them, really bond with them. And he got a ton of information, because people trusted him. Also, people just like to talk and they like to share stuff, and they forget that oh, this is secret, I'm not supposed to share this, and you're the enemy, oh my bad, I didn't realize. That's a real thing that people actually do. And it perpetuates the myth that torture works and torture is good. And there's even a part in the movie where we see Obama on the screen and he's talking about rolling back a lot of the torture stuff that we used to do. And the characters don't say anything, but they kind of side-eye Obama, and it's no. And then as soon as the movie came out, the interim director of the CIA was like, yeah, this movie's full of shit. Torture doesn't work, and torture did not help lead to us killing Osama. The movie was definitely shot well and acted well. Jessica Chastain was great as always. It's a propaganda machine. And I'm really annoyed it got such good reviews, and I'm really annoyed that I got nominated for so much stuff, because I fundamentally disagree with the fictitious world that this movie is propagating. And lastly is The Thin Red Line. This is a 1998 Terrence Malick film. Apparently Everyone in Hollywood was super excited about this movie coming out, and it was nominated for a shit ton of awards. It didn't win any, but it was nominated for a bunch. I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while, just because like I'm still trying to figure out why I hate Sean Penn so much, because it just doesn't make sense why I do. But this is supposed to be a really good movie, and he's in this movie, but all I could really think about for a lot of the movie was just the infamous story about how Adrien Brody signed on to be the lead character in this movie. He filmed the movie as the lead character, and then at the premiere of the movie, he found out that he was like 99% cut from this movie. So it just kind of became the game Spot Adrien Brody. Supposedly, the assembly cut of this movie was like 5 hours and they cut it down to 2 hours. They should have kept cutting it though, because this movie also felt very bloated. I did not care for this movie at all. It is an incredibly slow movie that I didn't get at all. And like, I like slow movies. I enjoy slow movies. I watched The Beautiful Troublemaker. That movie is literally 4 hours of watching someone paint in real time. And that was way more entertaining than whatever the hell this thing is. And then like the character who I thought was the main character kind of left the movie, and I was like, okay, the movie's probably done now. They accomplished the goal that they wanted to do. They got to the top of the hill. But then, nope, it goes on for like another 45 minutes-ish? I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention by that point. Yeah, I don't know. I did not even kind of care for this movie. I was bored almost immediately. And then like once the action started, I was like, okay, I can get into this. But then the action just went on for way too long and I became numb to it. And I'm just like, it's just, no, stop doing this. Just move on to something else. Come on. And then they did, and it was kind of nice, but then it got not nice after that. And I was like, oh, okay, I stopped caring again. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got The Dirty Dozen, sitting at number 67 in the quite like section. I'm actually kind of surprised how high I put it, but it is where it is. And then after that is Zero Dark 30, sitting number 115 in the meh section. Again, I'm also kind of surprised at how high I put that movie. And then bringing up the rear is The Thin Red Line, sitting at number 130 in the didn't liked category. And this is out of a total of 141 movies so far this year.